of my favorite items at home and at school is my boogie board. And no, this is not like my surfboard. I know they're boogie boards, that you go out in the water with. So this is my boogie board. This is great for your own notes. My shopping list, I have one on my refrigerator if anybody needs something or a reminder, a quick note. You can even use them with students to kind of be their whiteboards. We have chalkboards or whiteboards, whatever you have in your classroom. These are great. You don't need a mitt to erase things or whatever. And you basically, so they come with a little pen on top, and you can just write on it. I'm not sure if you can see that on there, but it kind of comes through kind of like a neon, but you can get any color that shows through. Mine's just kind of a subtle green. And then there is just literally a button at the top that you push and it erases it. Mm-hmm. And I literally live by this. I don't like Post-it notes all over my counters and on my refrigerator, or little things, little pieces of paper that are going to get swished off my desk and into the trash. And then you forget to write a parent or whatever it is. And I just love this because it can sit right there and I can jot things on it as I'm, listening to students or parents or whatever. I always have something right there. I checked on Amazon. These are running under $15 now. Like they've just gotten cheaper, and you can get really big ones, of course, for more expensive, little handheld ones, all different. But again, this is the name brand, and it's called Boogie Board. I have used the generic ones as well, but I really like my name brand one. So
yeah, we have the generic ones for our classroom. I bought a classroom set. We use them for math facts. We do them for quick show spelling, when they write something and then I count down 3, 2, 1, show me. And they just have a real big time with those because they're fun. It's something different than paper and pencil. And it's just the generic ones. I think they were like $2 or $3 each.
Oh, that's even better.
And if the battery goes dead, you just replace it with a little button battery, and they've lasted for a long time. And mine has the pen connected to it, so we don't lose the pen.
Yeah, that's great.
They came that way. And I have one on my desk. I have it on a little easel on my desk, and that's my to-do list for the day. I love that thing.
That's great.
Another great one along that line is Rocketbook. If you've never heard of these before, they've been around for a while, but they are amazing. And I live by my Rocketbook when it comes to meetings. And so the basic premise of the Rocketbook is that it has pages in it, but if you look at this notebook, it's not very thick. There's not very many pages in it.
It's like 1 or 2 pages.
Yeah, that's because you can write on the page using the friction pens. And once you do that, you can either erase it using the eraser on the end of the friction pen, or you can use a wet cloth and erase the whole thing. So that's lovely too, but there's also a way to save it. So let's say I just came back from my lead teacher meeting and I've got lots of things that I need to save or send to my other teachers. I don't have to type it all out. I can use the Rocketbook app, shine it onto my page. It saves it as a PDF. And using the little icons down at the bottom of the page, or even using the QR scan code, I don't know if you can see these, but there's a bunch of different icons, and I can choose by putting an X on one of the icons, whether to send it to my email, whether to send it to my team's email, whether to text it to myself. So you can save it, and then you can save those as a PDF and save them for later, erase the page in the notebook, and you don't have to have 100 pages in the notebook because you can keep reusing them. There are Rocketbook Post-it notes that you can erase. Yes.
Love it.
There's also Rocketbook index cards, which I use with teaching Sunday school at my church. We use it. We have a prayer board that's magnetic, and I put little magnets on the back of the Rocketbook index cards. And as the prayers get answered and we move them over to the praise side, after a while, we kind of filter them out, or I guess we say rotate them out, and I wash them off and we reuse them again. So Rocketbook is just an amazing brand that's out there that you can use that is reusable notebooks and papers and things like that.
And I love that you write on it with a pen, so it's not like a marker that's getting on your hand and everything. When you write on it, it's just like a piece of paper. It stays there. You would never guess you could wipe that thing off. It's amazing. So love that. So again, we're kind of talking, note taking and things, but that is kind of where we can make our lives a little more efficient. So something new that I'm loving is my keyboard or desktop whiteboard. So it's right here, and I'll try to hold it up. So I just got this. And literally, I use it all the time. So it sits like my keyboard would sit right here. It sits right above the keyboard on my computer. And so I always have a place to jot things down. I can jot notes. While I'm trying to, handle a phone call, and you have something you need to quick jot down. It has some storage, so I can put my markers in there. There's an eraser in there. You can put your phone up in here. It just, once again, eliminates all these Post-it notes or scrambling for paper. I looked on Amazon. They're running like $15 to $25. One thing thing I do recommend is the glass top. And I know we're like, oh, glass in the classroom, but it's in a safe spot. Hopefully it's on your desk by your computer. But the glass, because it erases cleaner. When you get the whiteboards, they start to get a little smudgy and yucky. But the glass, I love the glass top. It also comes in black, and you can write on it with like a white marker or pastel markers. But I just love this. Literally, I actually had to take a picture of it so I could erase it for the podcast. And now I have to write all my notes back on it. But I love this. Enjoyed this short clip? That was just a sneak peek into a full episode on the Teacher Edition podcast. We are passionate about supporting Christian educators like you. Looking for more inspiration and practical strategies you could use today? Subscribe now wherever you get your podcasts. Brought to you by BJU Press.